I only have one word to describe what should happen to that grown adult who stole a baseball from a child. Prison. Okay, obviously I'm joking. I don't want anyone to go to prison over catching a baseball, but if there is a child in front of you, let them have the ball. That should just be a rule of note going forward. What's up, everybody? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today, including Christian Yelich, and I'm going to do that emoji handshake, and then the other thing is outer space, because he met outer space yesterday on a nearly 500-foot home run yesterday. Shane Bieber made some history, and Bo Bichette went yard again, but the Orioles, they fought back. Remember, everyone, if you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself $20 off your entire order. So all of this talk about Judge and Ohtani, no one's really talking about the fish, Mike Trout. If he stayed healthy, he would be in the thick of things if we're talking about the MVP race. He has 31 home runs and an almost 5 WAR, even though he's missed 40 games this year. That is insane. Mike Ford and Joe Adell went back-to-back. Adell, he's now played 142 big league games. He has a combined negative 1.6 WAR due to his strikeouts and his historically bad defense. So I'm hoping that 2023 is the year where he officially breaks out, just like Gavin Lux did this year. Anyways, I know I got kind of harsh there. We're skipping to the 10th. Yes, the 10th, because Detroit tied it, and even Javier Baez grabbed the lead, but then immediately threw it away on a throwing error, and then the Halos, they walked it off on a Magneris Sierra bunt single. I always forget how to say his last name. I'm sorry if I botched this. I think it's Magnieris. There were 6 home runs in this Brewers versus Rockies contest, but none were longer than that Yelich 499-foot shot. I wish that they just would have lied to us and said 500 feet. That is officially the longest home run ever hit by a left-handed hitter in Coors Field. He's hitting 293 with 3 home runs over his last 10 games. Montero hit one. Daza smoked a 3-run shot for the Rockies in the 8th, and Grichuk, he tied it in the 6th inning. The Brewers, they went up by a single run in the 10th, only to have Daza clutch up again, and it comes down to the newly acquired Taylor Rogers, and there it is. A walk-off 3-run blast. That one nearly went 480 feet. The ball just travels in that thin Colorado air. That was a fun game to watch. The Padres found themselves in a massive hole at home. They were down 6-0 going into the bottom of the 5th inning. Arizona is looking too mighty as of late. There's a 2-run missile from Jake Cronenworth, so we enter the Crone zone. The Padres stayed in the zone with Ha-Sung Kim, bringing it even closer with a solo shot, and same with Josh Bell. That one from Josh Bell nearly went 430 feet, so San Diego is in prime position to make a sick comeback, and Jorge Alfaro delivers again in the clutch. He has multiple walk-offs this year, and he's building a reputation as the clutch guy in San Diego and quickly becoming a fan favorite. Like, when I went to the games, he always had the loudest ovation, even more than Juan Soto. The Padres and the Phillies are pretty much neck and neck in the wild card race, so the Phillies have to win this game. Edmundo Sosa hit a moonshot in the 3rd inning, and both teams kind of traded jabs the rest of the way, which resulted in a tie after 9 innings pretty much. But Gene, the hit machine, he walks it off as the 2-timer scores on a walk-off single from Segura. So the Phillies and the Padres are now tied for that final wild card spot. And speaking of being tied, we have to talk about the Braves and the Mets, because if the Mets lose and the Braves win, they will be tied for first place in that division. I didn't think I was going to be saying that this year. Brian Reynolds knocked in one on a single to score O'Neal Cruz, and this was all from Mitch Keller, who tossed maybe the best start of his career considering all things. This is what we were expecting. 6 shutout innings for a 26-year-old who now owns a respectable 3.93 FIP on the season. So if Keller can keep figuring it out and O'Neal Cruz can keep smashing baseballs out of stadiums, yes, that went into the Allegheny River. Pittsburgh, they're a fun watch. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still a ton of wrinkles to iron out, but they do have some all-star level pieces with Brian Hayes, Brian Reynolds, O'Neal Cruz, David Bednar. Like, they have exciting pieces. So we just saw the Mets lose. Let's see if the Braves can come away with a W. Matt Olson's 3-run blast in the 3rd inning put the Braves up 6-1. But take a look at the score as I'm showing the rest of this game. Both teams, they were going back and forth all night long, and eventually the A's, they stormed all the way back to tie it at 9 runs apiece. Chad Pinder's 3-run tater shocked the world. Mets fans were probably treating Chad Pinder like Hatterberg. I think his name is Scott Hatterberg from the Moneyball movie, where they were looking at the TV like, oh my God, he did it. Now, luckily for Braves fans, Austin Riley's sac fly was the final run of the game for either team. So Oakland, they tried their best, but Kenley Jansen, he strikes out 2. He ends the game for his 32nd save of the year. And would you look at that? The Mets and the Braves are now tied for first place, and some more horrific news. Max Scherzer, he is going on the IL. It could not be worse timing for Mets fans. Rookie Brendan Donovan hit a rare home run for the Cardinals. He only has 3 on the season, but he is still sporting an insane .391 on base percentage. Fellow rookie Nolan Gorman has been scuffling over the last 2 weeks, so it's nice to see him break out a little bit with that RBI double. More on him in just a second. Don't go anywhere. Now we have to shout out the Cardinals front office because Jordan Montgomery has been just ridiculously good, and Jose Quintana now has a 3.15 ERA after throwing 5 more scoreless innings. Nolan Gorman popped off for his 14th home run, and Helsley, he came in for his 14th save. The Cardinals are firing on all cylinders. They have one of the more complete teams in baseball. And also, speaking of the Cardinals, 29 years ago today, Mark Whiten became part of history as he belted 4 home runs in a single game, and he pimped almost every single one.
That is for 2, and he corks it into into right field. Go to Whiten. Into center field. Did he? Yes! His 4th home run of the game.
I don't know why pimping home runs just became cool over the last few seasons. Like, why was Yasiel Puig kind of thrown under the bus because of him showboating? 29 years ago, Mark Whiten, he was doing the same thing. I'm hoping Lewis Brinson has figured it out now. That is 3 home runs in his first 5 games as a member of the Giants. Sometimes a change of scenery is all you need. But I'm thinking my friend Joey Gallo is also starting to figure it out as well. That 3-run blast grabs the lead. Joey now has 8 extra base hits and 13 RBIs in his first 64 at-bats. It's all in the beard, ladies and gentlemen. That beard is magical. Max Muncy is having a strange and crazy season because that's 17 home runs. He also has a decent 320-ish on base percentage. The only problem is he's hitting 192 and striking out a ton. But he actually had a multi-home run game, so the Funky Monkey now has 18 home runs. The Dodgers, they get some payback after losing the game prior. I forgot to show that in the last video. I'm sorry, but the Giants, they won the game before 7-4. Bo Bichette hit his 4th home run in the last 24 hours. Just the Orioles scored more in this one. Adley Rutschman started the onslaught with a 2-run double. He has 28 doubles in 88 games. He also has a 131 OPS plus as a switch hitting rookie catcher. That sentence is not supposed to exist, really. Ryan Mountcastle grabbed the lead, and rookie Gunnar Henderson laced a single to give his team some cushion. Mullen scored Mateo in the 6th, and Mountcastle ripped it completely open with a 2-run single late in the 8th. Ryan was dropped to the bottom half of the order due to his recent struggles, so a huge 3 RBI day is big for his confidence, and Felix Bautista, aka the Mountain, had a 2-inning save. He has 12 saves on the year. Randy Arozarena had himself a monster performance. He's having a fantastic season yet again. He took out the camera in center field on his 19th home run, so he has 27 stolen bases. He's 1 home run away from back-to-back 2020 seasons. Boston, they did get smoked, but I have to show this. Tristan Casas is a massive human. He's like 6'4", 260. That was his first career home run, and I really feel like he could be the next big-time power hitter in baseball. Harold Ramirez is hitting an insane 327. He has 51 RBIs and an almost 140 OPS plus. Christian Bethencourt has 6 home runs in 27 games as a Ray, and even Yu Chang got in on the action. The Rays, they're just going to keep doing Rays things by picking up the scraps, and they're going to perform well. J-Ram and Bieber, they pretty much won this game all by themselves, and the pain of the last week is starting to fade because Cleveland came into this series losing 5 consecutive games in 6 of the last 7. Then again, Cleveland's playing the Royals, so regardless, J-Ram drove in 2, giving him 108 on the season. Judge and J-Ram are the only players in the American League with not only 100 RBIs, but 90-plus RBIs. Shane Bieber struck out 7 over 8 dominant frames. He only walked 1. He also made some history. He narrowly beats out Tim Lincecum for the 2nd fastest starting pitcher ever to 800 career strikeouts. Those are some big-time names on that list. Logan Gilbert proved why we should all be talking about him as the next big-time ace for the Mariners. Well, unless they give Luis Castillo an extension. But anyways, Logan Gilbert almost doesn't show emotion, but there he is going 6 shutout with 9 punchies in a pivotal game versus the White Sox, and he finally let loose. He showed some emotion. He's just 25 years old, so if they can extend Castillo, I really like that 1-2 punch for the next half decade. Cal Raleigh has been otherworldly this year. He was having a terrible beginning to a career in 2021, but he turned it around. That is 23 home runs. The Mariners are 77 and 59 this year. Ezekiel Duran has sky-high talent, and he showed it on a 2-run double. He still has some work to do with getting on base, but I like his ceiling. And Sam Huff, pretty much the exact same story. There he is putting the ball in play and letting Houston allow a run to score for him. So Houston not only allowed that free run, but there's another. The Rangers were gifted a free go-ahead run in the 7th. Jose Leclerc, one of my my favorite relief pitchers in MLB The Show. He notched his 3rd save, and I hope that he can stay healthy going into 2023. And last but not least, a former Yankee made his debut. Hayden Wesneski, he made his MLB debut just a few weeks after being traded by the Yankees in the Scott Efris deal. And man, I wish I could have seen this dude shove in the Bronx because he has a ton of confidence. He was strutting off the mound. We'll talk about his stat line in just a moment because Ian Happ went yard for the 16th time. Okay, let's talk about Hayden now. He carved it up for 5 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts. Suzuki now has 11 home runs. He also has 21 stolen bases. The Cubs win easy 9-3. They're now 10th in Major League Baseball in home runs since the All-Star break. And hopefully Hayden is a part of the future. The Cubs, they're kind of building a little sneaky good team behind the scenes. Now, before we show the web gems, again, I do have to remind you guys, for the remainder of the season, we will be making a donation to Stand Up to Cancer for every single new subscriber that we get. So send it to your friends, your family, or if you just like these videos, hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, thanks for watching. Enjoy the web gems.
To left center field. Badu racing and making a nice grab.
In the stands and one in left center.
You're right. I might have to give it to the fan of the stands.
Broke his bat out toward left center, caught by Sosa. And he stumbles to the ground.
The 1-2. Swung on a little weak dribbler on the right side, charged by Rosario. Gloves and swoops. He did a glove swoop to first. Just flipped that ball out of his glove.
To left center field, charging Gurriel, and a diving catch by Lourdes.
That's into left center field. Gallo's over. Rizzo